Victor was originally from a small, hidden town in the southeastern part of Basel City. Few people there remembered him clearly, and fewer still cared to speak his name. By the time he surfaced in Orcane Valley, in the southwestern quarter of the city, Victor had already learned the art of disappearing in plain sight. At first, he posed as a humble wooden knife merchant, drifting through the markets with a quiet smile and downcast eyes. Later, he abandoned the trade altogether and reintroduced himself as a shaman and native doctor, a man who claimed knowledge of herbs, spirits, and forces best left unnamed. On several occasions, he would deliberately feign temporary insanity, screaming at shadows or speaking to unseen figures, an act that worked perfectly. People kept their distance. Victor owned no house. Instead, he lived beneath a bridge in the backway valleys, in a crude structure of tires, planks, and rusted metal. It was a place so foul and hidden that even vagrants avoided it. Over time, the area earned a name whispered only in fear: Vic's Slaughterhouse. At night, an overpowering, meat-like stench often filled the air, drifting through the valley like a curse. Victor would sit beside his special barbecue, feeding the flames as thick smoke curled into the darkness. The locals suspected something was wrong. They thought him mad. Dangerous, perhaps. But nothing more. They were wrong. On April 6, 1986, a haunting sound cut through the night. A cold, desperate scream, thin and weak, yet filled with terror. It came from beneath the bridge. The cry belonged to a famished, emaciated woman, waiting to be slaughtered. The noise drew passers-by. What they found beneath Victor's makeshift home froze them in horror. Scattered around the lair were human bones, skulls, severed legs and hands, and a pot of freshly cooked soup containing human flesh. Among the remains lay a check for 1 million rupees, foreign currencies including naira and CFA notes, and a mobile phone, a rare object at the time, when only the wealthy possessed such devices. The implications were chilling. As the crowd gathered, Victor sensed the net closing in. He ran. The mob gave chase, dragging him back in fury. In the chaos, no one noticed a faint movement from within a stack of tires inside the shack. It was only after Victor was captured, forced to watch as the mob demolished his lair, that they found her. Mary Ortho. She was barely alive, skeletal, filthy, and starving, imprisoned inside the tires, waiting for her turn on the menu. The sight of her shattered whatever restraint the crowd had left. They beat Victor mercilessly until the police arrived. Mary was rushed to hospital, but it was too late. She slipped into a coma and died several days later. The rage did not end there. The mob turned on a man known to be Victor's close associate, Maxwell Cephus, who lived nearby. His shack was torn apart, revealing a 6-meter-deep pit beneath the floor. Inside, evidence showed that victims were held there, kept alive, waiting, before being slaughtered and cooked. In police custody, Victor spoke calmly. He claimed he hypnotized women by blowing on their foreheads, rendering them obedient. "I will have a sexual affair with her to a state of coma before we slaughter her and roast," he said without emotion. Then he added something worse. "I'm not alone. I have between 6 and 14 people. They take their own parts and go while I wait for another meat." His confession fueled terrifying speculation. Residents recalled seeing luxury cars stopping beneath the flyover at odd hours. It explained why none of the victims' heads were ever found. In many African countries, unnamed but understood, there exists a secret trade in human body parts for ritual, spiritual, medicinal, and business purposes. At a police press conference, Victor confessed fully to kidnapping, murder, and cannibalism, stating that he and his accomplice had been eating human flesh for 7 years, even before arriving in Basel City. "It is our culture to eat human meat," he said. On December 7, 2000, Victor was remanded to East State Prison, Basel City's only super-maximum facility. But justice stalled. By March 2012, after nearly 10 years without trial, Victor sued the Attorney General of Orkane State, David Lawson, for unlawful imprisonment. Prison authorities claimed Victor's mental illness had worsened, making him unfit to stand trial. On June 7, 2012, Victor died at the age of 41. An autopsy ruled his death as natural causes. Yet prison staff whispered of something else. That even in death, Victor was still arguing with voices only he could hear.